When tall in Bachelor, very tall. And when very tall, women likey.
Dear Shandy. Welcome back to another Dear Shandy Bachelorette recap, listeners. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm excited to be back.
Oh, you are?
Back in the saddle. Back in the Bachelorette saddle.
Yes.
Back in the Bachelor Nation saddle. Just Bachelor stuff.
And we have, something new to look at here.
We do.
Yes.
But you must look at it, so you must come to YouTube.
Yeah.
But if you're already at YouTube, then behold.
Behold, we finally did it. We've been wanting to do this for a long time, but it was laziness that kept us from doing it. But Andy, your white V really pops now.
Yeah, I felt like I needed some pop. I was feeling a little washed out.
You did look a little washed out with all white.
You know, it's interesting. You'd think the opposite would happen. You'd think that the white would be the washed out thing and it would make you pop.
Yes.
But I've learned that actually it's the dark that makes you pop.
Contrast. Exactly.
Yeah.
Any other housekeeping? Oh, I do want to mention to our Shandies who have submitted questions that have been answered either in Q&As or callers. We are assembling updates for our newest updates episode. And so if we've answered one of your questions and anything has happened, anything to update us all on, then please submit it to dearshandy@gmail.com. Please mention the episode number because we are reaching a point now where, we have over 300 episodes.
Over 300 episodes.
Yeah, it's
and
a lot
not one with a dark wall behind me.
Exactly. Yeah, some people will send an update and it'll just be like, oh yeah, now this has happened. And there'll be no reference to what episode it was from. And I'm like, I don't know what to do about that.
We're not Rain Man.
No.
Not Rain Men.
No. Or Rain Women.
Yeah, Rain People.
Rain People. Okay, so shall we get going, Andy?
Yeah.
I enjoyed, in terms of overall thoughts, I enjoyed this premiere.
Yeah, it was all right.
Why are you saying it with a little hesitance?
No, there's something about this show. It feels like you're coming home.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like that comfort of home. It's not like exciting or amazing, but it's like, oh yeah, home. It's safe.
It has that home smell. You know that smell of home. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I used to feel that when I had lived in New York and then I lived abroad and then I would come back and I would get to the airport and smell the New York airport and get in a cab and smell that New York smell.
Yeah, the New York smell.
Yes.
The subway, that's where it really smells.
Yes.
That's where I get. In the subway, I'm like, this is it.
And
this is where it comes from.
That first week you're back, you're like into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what are we saying? We're saying that the Bachelor franchise is it has the smell of home.
Yeah. And when you haven't been there in a while, you come home and you're excited. And that fades a little bit, but it's still that comfort, that safety. You know nothing crazy is going to happen.
Yeah. And if it is crazy, it's entertaining. I'm going to say this about the preview for the season. It looked entertaining. I'm going to admit it. I was intrigued by the conflict that looks like it might be brewing on the horizon.
Well, let's get on with it.
Okay.
Let's see if you're right.
Okay, so we open with what felt like kind of a rushed intro to Jenn, if I'm honest. I didn't feel like we learned much more about Jenn than we learned on
Joey's season.
Joey's season. Thank you.
It's the wall.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like we got to know Jenn a whole lot more, if I'm honest. It was really cool meeting her mother and her mother speaking to her in Vietnamese. I thought that was really cool because, Jenn never got that hometown. But I don't know, I still would like to know more. I don't know, a couple of ins and outs. I just feel like it's always the generic B-roll, but, I won't dwell on that. I did like how she said she's looking for a partner who values and sees her and tries to understand her. I liked that.
Yeah, me too.
Makes that effort to understand someone instead of just assuming that they're wrong all the time. Okay. Okay, so now it's night one. What's going on with this mansion?
What is going on with this mansion? What is this? Well, we know eventually what it is, but why did this happen?
It was a temporary mansion.
Is there something wrong with the mansion?
Okay, let's think about what happened here. I feel like, so we know that there are people who live in the Bachelor mansion, that belongs to someone.
Yes.
And they rent it out to the show.
Maybe they just had to be living there during this time. There was something happened and they were like, there is no circumstance where we can give this to you to shoot. It's impossible.
What I want to know is what was the chicken or what was the egg here? Did the residents of the Bachelor mansion not want to bother vacating their house for only one episode? Or was it only one episode and then they're going to Australia because the owners of the Bachelor Mansion were not willing to leave?
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting question. My theory is that there was some problem with the Bachelor Mansion. I don't know what it was.
A problem.
Well, as we were discussing, there was something with the people who own it. Something was wrong. It could not be used.
Yes.
And they're like, you know what? This is a great excuse to just put out the bid. Let's see who can give us the best, most amazing deal in an exciting place for us to do the season. And Melbourne, I mean, what's more exciting than being on the other side of the world, right? Melbourne came through and they did it, and they just introed, because they needed like a more like a limo entrance kind of situation.
And this was a very limo exit.
As a matter of fact, I for a second almost didn't realize that wasn't the Bachelor Mansion. It had heavy mansion vibes.
They all look kind of similar.
Yeah, the Hummingbird Ranch.
You know what it shows? Is that what it was called? The Hummingbird?
Well, the famous Hummingbird Ranch.
Was it famous?
That's what he called it.
Had you ever heard of it?
Now I know it's famous.
Yeah, but that's like saying like so-and-so's famous hot dogs or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I was being facetious.
So I'm going to assume that indeed the residents of the Bachelor Mansion were like, no, honestly, we're kind of sick of being out of our house all the time. You're filming too many shows in our house. Because remember, Golden Bachelor.
Oh, that's true.
Was filmed there. They're like,
that's
hey,
a great point.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, it's too much. Like, this is too much.
We've
been doing this for 20 years.
We want to enjoy our home.
Yeah. We don't want to do this again.
Yes.
You get the Golden Bachelorette, but you do not get the regular Bachelorette.
So you know what it goes to show is that when life gives you lemons, or when something goes awry or something expected, something better can come out of it. Because I'm sorry, it is 100% better for them to go to Australia.
100% better.
Yeah. How many times?
100% better.
How many times are they
200% better.
How many times are they going to have a group date at that same antique store?
That antique store gets a lot of business, though.
Okay, so now we have our limo exits. There are 25 total, which I thought was a nice number.
Yeah, that's a good number.
They didn't go for the whole like 31, 32 most ever thing. And we're going to keep with tradition, Andy, by doing our limo exit wins and fails.
I mean, the low-hanging fruit is the puppy entrance.
Okay.
I mean, how can you not win with those two cute puppies?
That's Thomas A. with the puppies. I had him as runner-up.
I felt like cheating.
It was cheating.
It was cheating.
Jenn's face.
Yeah.
Honestly, her reaction to the puppies made me like her even more. I already liked her, but her face, she was like, are those puppies?
What is that? Are these puppies?
It was so cute.
It was cute. And you know, they say that they say, what I've read or heard or seen on TikTok, one of them, is that the puppies engender the same physiological reaction as being sexually turned on for a man and woman.
You're kidding.
Well, I think mainly a woman. Now I don't know. I'm not really talking some shit here, but I think there's some truth to this.
Okay, but only puppies. What about kittens?
Yeah, anything that's super cute.
Okay.
Like any really, really cute thing creates some kind of like sort of quasi-sexual response.
Okay.
So maybe she associates that response with the guy coming out with the puppies.
Thomas A.
From
Toronto.
Good Canadian.
Okay.
Anyway, but that's kind of a cheating one.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to give it to Jeremy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeremy was, by the way, we're doing a new thing now in our recaps where I don't know Andy's responses.
Yeah.
Because in the past, I have included them in my notes, and so I know what he's going to say. But right now, I don't actually know. So that's interesting.
Exciting.
So Jeremy, 29, the real estate investor. So he came out in a red Corvette.
Well, first of all, I thought that when they come out in these cars, is it their car or is it in someone else's car? I don't quite understand this.
I have some questions because I would assume this is not his car because he claims he's from New York. But
Right.
and then he said he shipped it all the way from New York.
Was that
There
a
is
joke?
no
I guess
way.
that's a joke.
There's no way. The show would never pay for that. They would sooner just rent a Corvette that's local. Why
makes
would you
more
not
sense.
do that?
That's what I think happened. Like, anyway, but the point is, I like the throwing the keys to Jesse. I thought that was funny.
Yes.
It's going good.
Hey, Palmer, keep it close.
Oh,
And I liked the penis. That was funny.
I agree. And it also felt like a better executed play on what Jenn had said. Remember that horrible joke?
Yeah.
When she was
that's what
first
I'm
announced
saying.
as
He was
Bachelorette.
making a joke on her joke. He
Yeah.
was basically saying that was a terrible joke. I'm going to make a really corny joke that mocks that original joke, which made the corny joke funny.
I'm going to explain it in case anyone doesn't remember what we're talking about. But the one thing we came at Jenn for when she was announced Bachelorette is that she said she was looking for someone with a really big personality. And it was just so
good.
poorly executed and we just couldn't get over it. And this was really funny. He was like, yeah, some people with cars like this, they're compensating for something. But I've actually got a really big penis.
Right? Still funny. It's a funny joke.
Yeah. Well, you should know that I have him as tied for my win.
Oh, nice.
With that exit.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should do this more often.
We have the same taste. Okay, and my other winner was Thomas N, 31, the retirement advisor. He gave her a bracelet with his last name, Win, on it.
Yeah, for
and
the
they
win.
said if this works out, it'll be a win-win. I just thought this was really
Very
cute.
cute.
Also,
yeah.
a really lovely acknowledgement of the fact that they're both Vietnamese. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I was expecting more Asian men. I was looking forward to more Asian men.
Well, it's really interesting. I mean, we're not going to break it down here. This is not what we do. We're not going to have some big, sociological discussion about this. But why is it when the lead is Asian, there are almost no Asian guys?
Yeah.
But when the lead is another hue, there are a lot of that same hue.
Hue?
Yes. Hue.
I don't know if hue is the word you want to use.
Is that not appropriate?
No, but I know what you mean. We all know what you mean.
Yeah. Color of the rainbow.
It was conspicuous to me.
Well, conspicuous.
Yeah. But I did appreciate the win-win bracelet.
Oh, I did too.
I thought that was cute. Okay, so next, Andy, our fails. Who is your limo exit fail?
100% without question, the Love Virgin.
Okay.
Possibly the worst joke I've heard on a franchise that delivers some very bad jokes.
Okay, so this was Sam N, 25, entrepreneur. Yeah, he came out saying he's a virgin, a love virgin. Andy.
I mean, but the thing is, the problem with the joke is it's literally not a joke. And he tried to when you make a joke and you put a lot of weight on the punchline, but it ends up not actually even being a joke by any definition of what a joke is.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Well, I mean, there were a couple of moments like that with him. Like in his ITM when he was like, I'm a gentleman.
Right.
Get it? And the producer was like,
okay.
I get it. I thought that maybe they were all in on it until you heard the producer say, I get it. And I was like, wait, did he actually think that was a joke?
No, you'd think he was joking about
making the joke.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Joking about the joke of the joke. But he wasn't. I don't think so. I think the producer's like, that's enough. Stop saying that.
Okay,
the producer whose job it is to make them comfortable and feel relaxed and welcome.
Is like,
she's like, that's enough. I can't take it anymore. I don't care if I get fired for this.
Okay, so Sam N. Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
My limo exit fail, however, is Jonathan, 27, creative director. Look, I think the limo exit itself was fine. It was just how it unfolded. Okay, so...
And you know what that was? His limo entrance was the limo entrance of an LA-based creative director.
Is he LA-based?
Yes.
Oh, really? You know? Did you look?
I've studied this chart.
You're right. LA-based creative director. Okay.
I did my homework.
So he creatively directed him coming out on a stretcher with his face bandaged up.
Yeah.
And saying he was all lovesick, which, was cute or whatever. And then he commits to it. He's wearing the hospital gown. It's open in the back. He's always being blurred out with a big rose, blah, blah, blah.
A lot going on there.
Yes.
I'll give him that. I mean, there was a lot of production. You know what it was? It was a high-budget Marvel movie. A lot of smoke, no fire.
Well, so this is what gets me. So when they sit and chat, and maybe this isn't fair because I should just be judging the limo exit, but I am judging the whole package. Oh. And he kept rolling with this and saying, no, it's what's inside that counts. It's what's inside that counts. Right, he says this when they sit down for their one-on-one time, he's still bandaged up. And I'm like, respect. Like, that's impressive. You should keep that on the whole time and see what happens. But instead, after this whole speech about how it's what's inside that counts, he has her unwrap his face to then see his face.
Yeah,
and like,
good-looking guy.
And also she gets to then, say what she thinks. What's she supposed to do? Unwrap him and be like, oh.
Yeah, this is not.
She has no choice.
Better with the bandage on.
Yeah, she has no choice but to favorably react to what she's seeing.
What would have been actually really interesting is if he was horribly disfigured.
Anyway, I just felt that it contradicted his whole creative direction for her to unwrap him and then have a reaction. He didn't think about
the ending. He only thought about the first and second act.
He should have gotten into the mansion bandaged up, like without her being able to see his face. I think that would have been fantastic.
Or what he could have done is done really good Hollywood makeup zits all over the parts that were bandaged, and when she pulls it off, it's like everywhere where the bandage was just big zits. No, maybe I'm not the right person for this either.
Maybe you should become a creative director, Andy. How does one become a creative director?
I think you decide you're a creative director, and then it just happens.
Yeah, I just felt he didn't commit as well as he could have or should have based on all the hype. Okay, Jenn enters the room now. I really enjoyed her toast. She's really good at them, actually.
Yeah, she's good at toast.
At doing a toast and it seeming natural and not too, studied or memorized. Yeah. And she pretty much says that she never had a good role model for what love is, but she's worked hard to learn her worth and what she deserves. That's definitely the theme for her season, I think. And she hopes they're all there for a ferocious love.
Ferocious love.
I've just found a lot of these speeches sound incredibly rote, like they could have been written by the exact same person every single time. And I thought she did great. It really felt bespoke to her.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, that could have been worse.
Yeah, could have been worse.
Considering that was only based on eye contact.
But you know what couldn't be better?
What?
Squarespace.
Yes. As a platform for building a beautiful website.
Like, let's be honest. Like, there are a lot of things that we like, but we're always like, I wish you would just do this little extra thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. Squarespace is the best of that thing that you can have.
I agree. And I think the proof is in the pudding because we have multiple websites with Squarespace. It truly is your destination for making a gorgeous website with little to no design experience. This is really huge because it's daunting to build a website. It's expensive to hire someone to make your website for you. What if there was a place you could go where you could plug in your photography, your images, your text, and boom, like with a wand.
Boom. Or like,
yeah, or
yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, it's the one. So you select one of Squarespace's beautiful templates and they hold your hand through this because you can really narrow it down. There's a lot of templates to choose from, but if you narrow it down what your website is doing, they'll be like, hey, these are some suggestions for you. And then from there, their features are through the roof. Everyone's heard me talk about it. My blog is on Squarespace. My singing website's on Squarespace. That's the one that I'm redoing currently.
Yeah.
And dearshandy.com is on Squarespace. Our wedding website, shandy.nyc, was on Squarespace.
I've had websites that will not be named on Squarespace.
Andy's top secret websites are on Squarespace. We are big Squarespace fanatics here. I just don't know why you would go anywhere else.
So go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Shandy for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Again, that's squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Shandy to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Okay, so notable one-on-one time now. Sam M. Sorry, I have to be careful because there is a Sam M.
Sam M.
Yeah, Sam steals her first. Yeah. I mean, we all knew from the second we saw him step out of the limo that he was one to watch, not only on this season, but possibly in this franchise.
Yes.
He looks like a movie star.
He does.
He's a contractor.
That's great.
Which is, I mean, that's like
porno movies.
You know what's funny is I feel like there was a time when a contractor wasn't as quote unquote hot as it is now.
Right. I feel now like, contracting is the thing.
Yeah. And it's also like, it's like a man who's like handy. It's like old school. He can build a wall.
Oh, absolutely. Contracting is like, that's like in the 80s, it would be like the head of like an investment bank.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, once it was doctor, lawyer, businessman, and now it's contractor.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. That's a good point.
And I say that because like I found myself like a little interested.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and he's not my type at all. But when he had his Home 10 package and he was like building stuff and sawing stuff, I was like, wow, he's a man.
Isn't that hilarious?
I feel like it represents a changing of the times because men are, we talk about it all the time. We are a relationship podcast about like the dynamics between in straight relationships between men and women and how men don't approach anymore. Men are not as chivalrous. They don't have as good manners, all these things. And I feel like there's something just so old school manly about a man who can build things.
And Sam M, I mean, look at him.
Yeah, Sam M looks like a future Bachelor, in my opinion. He mentions her having said ferocious love, and he says that he uses reckless love.
Yes, that doesn't sound that good, but I'll give it to him.
He says he's in it for the long haul. They agree on trusting the process, putting it all out there, etc. She says, quote, I agree with the vulnerability thing.
Good blanket statement.
And he says he thinks they'll hit it off. And she says, I don't know. I'm not making any promises. This was really cute. They had a good banter. Good chemistry. I got a big laugh out of him when she sort of played it cool. And he kind of goes in for a kiss and she gives him the cheek.
Yeah, but it wasn't a very embarrassing cheek giving. It was kind of like I'm going in for a tentative kiss. And I'm giving you a strong cheek.
You know what it looked like? It's like she was practiced in that. It looked like she had given her cheek before.
Yes. She has given many a cheek.
Yeah. I liked this about her. I liked that she saved her kiss. And what a kiss it ends up being for her first Impression Rose recipient, and doesn't just kiss like 6 guys on night one.
I also like this.
And
not
no
because I'm so chaste, but because it seems it's actually more practical.
Yes.
It's like just save it for the one you want instead of just kissing everybody. You dilute it.
Yes.
Don't dilute it.
It was so much more meaningful, this eventual kiss. And most of the time we know that they're not really in, like on night one, are they really into every single person?
You know what? I think there should be no polite kissing in the show. I think enough of that. Enough of just kissing someone, but you're like, well, I guess it's time to kiss, and it seems like he wants a kiss, so why not?
Yeah, let's put our mouths on each other.
Yeah, no, enough of that.
No more. Okay, so Spencer now, he says the guys are great. I thought this was cute. Yeah. There was a lot of this actually.
Spencer's a nice guy.
He is. There was a lot of good camaraderie between the men, among the men. He says that she's so charismatic, lighthearted. They bond over being animal lovers, and he's like, "Oh, do you have a pet?" And she's like, no. Womp womp.
Why doesn't she have a pet?
She should get a pet.
She should get a pet.
I do get strong animal lover vibes from her.
Yeah,
of course, I feel like we could have said this to ourselves.
I know.
For the last 10 years. We finally got a pet since our last
so holy and mighty.
I know. We're all like, get a pet. And in her ITM, she says that Spencer has golden retriever energy. Thomas and now, they really bond over their Vietnamese backgrounds. Both of their mothers, it sounds like, sacrificed their own career dreams to provide a better life for their children. Wow. Truth or dare now. So the powers that be. Oh, you hate it?
I hate it.
Really?
I would just bow out. I would like make believe I had some stomach problems.
For me, it's so clear to me that you should just do truth. But here's the thing, they don't get a choice.
Truth. Yeah, always truth.
I have nothing to hide.
But they were rolling a dice. They had no choice.
Yeah,
they're rolling a die, excuse me. A die.
A lone die.
A lone die.
So the powers that be pretend that this is Thomas A's idea. Of course, this is totally a producer thing, but I actually, in terms of producer, devices, I thought this was pretty good for night one. They were really trying to get any kind of tension they could, and one of them was
I'm fine with Truth or Dare as long as I'm not playing Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
I actually like watching Truth or Dare.
Oh, really?
I don't want to be involved.
Okay. Would you go streaking through the house?
I would do that. Yeah.
You would?
I would do that, but that's easy. That's actually easy.
Is it?
Yeah. Just getting naked in front of people and running around. I mean, yeah, it's obviously, it's like jumping in a cold pool. It's the same
I
thing.
really would have a hard time with the streaking.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get over the hump, but once you get over it, it's like you're just naked. Who cares?
Yeah, but everyone
it
else
actually
is
feels
clothed.
really natural. Try this sometimes. Get naked in a place that's totally inappropriate, and after like a couple minutes, you're like, this is the most natural way we should be. This feels right.
It's just not. That's not the culture I was raised in at all.
Yeah, but it's the way we're supposed to be. If the temperature is pleasant, we're supposed to be naked.
You heard it here first, folks.
My platform for city council.
A big no-no here is Mose gets a truth. Have you ever ghosted anyone? And he's like, all the time.
Oh, wow. Oh,
this was,
Mose.
He was a little
Mose.
too truthful. I think this cost him getting in the house.
He should have been a little more bashful with this question.
Yes.
I mean, this is it. This made him a night oneer.
At most, he should have been like, yes, regretfully, yes, I have ghosted someone. Not like,
he
all
said
the
it
time.
with pride.
Yes.
You don't say that with pride.
No. You can be honest and not say that with pride.
You have to show great pain in saying it. I
thought there was a clever one when Thomas N got dare, and it said impersonate Jenn, and he said, Thomas, will you accept this roast tonight? Yeah, clever, cute,
quick.
Okay, Sam N now. So this is the love virgin. The gist here is that he's never been in a relationship. He seems very inexperienced, and kind of shockingly so, because he's 25.
Yeah, he seems like
and
he's
good looking and
doesn't
doesn't seem Like he seems kind of
normal.
Like he has some charisma. I don't know. It was sort of something isn't adding up there totally for me. I'm still trying to figure him out.
Maybe it's all a ruse.
A ruse.
Maybe he thought that was a good angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing an act.
That's a little weak.
It's a little weak. Yeah. Maybe it's not an act. Retract that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not an act. It's real.
Good talk.
Yeah.
Okay, and now Jonathan with the unwrapping. We've already covered that. And now we have Jeremy. They chat in his Corvette. He claims to have shipped it from New York City. And she's like,
This is nice. Did you ship this in?
Yeah, all the way from New York.
Wow.
So the thing happens here. This is the one bit of tension where they're in the car. Jeremy and Jenn are in the car, and she's like, oh, I'd love to drive it, but there's no keys. And he's like, yeah, no keys. And suddenly Brian,
right?
What is he? Aesthetic consultant.
Esthetician consultant?
I think it was aesthetics consultant. What does that mean?
I'm assuming this is for like plastic surgery.
Oh, you think?
What is an aesthetics consultant? That's like,
I mean, I want to be an aesthetics consultant. I feel like I should be an aesthetics consultant. Oh my God,
that's so true. You are the greatest aesthetic consultant there ever was.
How do I become an aesthetics consultant?
You should talk to Brian. DM Brian.
Seriously, I want it. Like, tell me if anyone knows what that is or what he does. Like, I feel like just based on those two words together, I want to have a career pivot.
It's just what you should become. You need to talk to this guy. Unless he works for a plastic surgeon. That was my gut, is that he's like consulting people on their faces or something before they go to. That doesn't make any sense.
I feel like it needs to have another word.
I was thinking esthetician.
Yeah, esthetician.
Yeah, I put a shin after it, which is not. You need to be an aesthetics consultant.
I mean, I agree.
Talk to Brian. Now,
I don't
get
know
him on the phone.
If I don't know how legit that is. Okay, so he comes in with the keys, interrupts Jeremy's time. I am questioning what's going on here. I felt like
this was a setup, first of all.
Well, obviously, but I thought Jeremy handled this really well.
Yeah.
Considering what like it was kind of rude.
It was very rude. It was very awkward. It was inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And
he really forced Jeremy to be the bigger person. Like he was really being a dick, and Jeremy was like, okay. Like you could see he was like, oh, this is what this is now and how I have to behave. You could tell that in real life, Jeremy would not have just moved aside.
Of course not. He knew that with the situation and he played the game. But you know what? I think this actually bought him points in the end.
100%. If I were Jenn in that situation, I would have noticed how he handled that.
And you immediately saw the revulsion is a strong word, but she wasn't that into Brian sitting down next to her. You could tell she was like, oh, this is okay. This is happening now.
Yeah, she did sort of recoil slightly.
A little bit.
Okay, and now we have Devin. So Devin is the one, when he came out of the limo, you and I were both like, he looks like Pete Davidson. And then 1 minute later in her ITM, Jenn said, he gives me Pete Davidson vibes.
Well, he also acts like Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
He has a mouth like everything about him is Pete Davidson. It's like he studied Pete Davidson.
And it's his long lost brother, like half brother or something. Because the mouth is uncanny. It's not just how he.
It's everything. The mannerisms, the tone of the voice, the timbre.
Yeah.
The just everything about him.
He says he's a big talker. He's the oldest in his family, raised by a single mom. They bond over having big personalities. Andy, you said classic show, don't tell.
Yeah. You know what the first rule of big personality is?
Don't talk about how big your personality is.
There you go.
She asks about turnoffs, and he says, quote, self-centered thing, I think, but I like when a girl's nails are done.
Self-centered thing, I think, but I like when a girl's nails are done.
I have a lot of issues. You guys knew I was going to have issues with this. Yeah. I did rewatch this clip to make sure it all came out of his mouth at the same time, because I thought it was possible. He said self-centered thing, I think, and then cut to another clip of where you hear him saying nails or something, because this made so little sense. How is it self-centered to like it when a girl's...
It doesn't make it. This is where the Pete Davidson ends. Yeah.
Pete Davidson would never have said this.
Pete Davidson wouldn't say any of the things he says. He just says it all like Pete Davidson.
Also, I don't want to be that person that criticizes someone's turnoff. However, I have an issue when someone's turnoff about someone is them in their less natural state.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
It would be
it's like put some makeup on.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. I get like, okay, I think a turnoff should almost always be some like personality trait or behavioral thing. I just think it's weird to criticize someone's like, oh, they're wearing too little, too much. Their nails look like this. Their hair looks like this, whatever. I get everyone has their physical preferences. But for his turn off to be when someone hasn't done something to make themselves more artificial.
I would actually say that I would accept it fully if he had said the exact opposite.
Yeah.
If he said his turn off is when people do too much with their nails.
Yeah. Or they wear too much makeup or they're too done up. They wear too many blah, blah, blah.
Some people will be offended by that too,
yes.
but 90% of people would rather have that said than the other.
Yeah. If it has to be one or the other, I would rather a guy be like, oh, yeah. I like it when a girl is like as natural as possible. Well, that's the thing.
The closer you get to fully natural is the place you want to be complimenting.
Yeah.
You don't want to be complimenting outside of that too much. You could say, you look lovely tonight. Your dress is beautiful. Oh my God, your makeup. You look like a movie star. But you don't want to say, without that, I've got problems.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so this with me didn't really sit well. However, Jenn does not seem to have an issue with it. She's like, admire my nails. She is into Devin. Yeah. Like really into Devin.
Maybe. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Oh,
I have theories, but no, it's okay.
Okay. Well, and then they got talking about her toes.
Yeah.
And he says, can I put one of those in my mouth?
Yeah. And
was that what was discussed?
I think, and then she says something about you can eat my feet later or something. Yeah, it was a lot of toe eating jokes. Not sure how that happened. Was that what it was?
It happened so fast and they're both kind of mumblers. And I was like, did that just get thrown in there so willy-nilly?
A little foot fetish. They're really branching out.
They were joking about it though. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. If Jenn has a foot fetish, Devin's in.
Oh.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. Foot fetish, people make jokes about foot fetish. Foot fetish, number one fetish, by the way.
It's not the number one
crowds. There's no other fetish that even comes close to a foot fetish. Foot fetish is the king.
Oh, in terms of fetishes.
Yeah, it's like the Coca-Cola of if soda was a fetish.
Well, what if it's like a boob fetish? Like that's got to be a bigger fetish than a foot fetish.
There's no such thing as a boob fetish. Everyone has a boob. That's ridiculous. That's like saying you have a water
Yeah, but some
fetish.
people are like really into boobs and some people are like, boobs.
That's different. That's just gradation. You either are into feet or you're not into feet. There's no gray there. You're like, I want to put a foot in my mouth, or I just look at a foot as something someone walks on. And it's nice. If it's a nice foot, it's a nice foot. If it's not a nice foot, it's not a nice foot, but I don't pay too much attention.
Okay.
Foot fetish, number one fetish, hands down. Anyone can come at me for that. I'm telling you right now, in the Venn diagram of foot fetish, there's
a fetish.
There's the foot, and then everything else is just sort of hovering around.
Okay.
Anyway, my point is that a lot more people have foot fetishes than they let on.
Yes.
And so there's a decent chance that Jenn likes to have her toes sucked. And if Devin's willing to suck, then there might be a connection there.
I actually think it's the other way around. I think it's a good chance Devin wants to suck. And if Jen's willing to allow sucking, then that works.
But I mean, the foot fetish goes both ways. You want to have your feet sucked as a foot fetishee. And that sort of, to me, counts.
I don't know if I understand the turn on of having, I almost can understand having the foot fetish, like wanting to suck because there's something like degrading. And I don't know. I can almost wrap my mind around that more than the person who's like, yeah, suck my toes.
Well, there's a lot of psychology behind it, I think. And anything that's weird can be fun. But I did go through a very brief foot fetish period in my life.
Really?
Not like a full on where I was like on the internet looking at people's feet. And I know I know you're thinking about the thing where your foot showed up on the foot.
I wasn't thinking about
Charlene's foot showed up on a foot fetish site.
It's what is it? It's like famous feet or something.
Oh, okay. But that's
celebrity
a foot fetish
feet.
Site. It's not like, you think that's people who are interested in feet for not foot fetish, that site is there for? It's a foot fetish site. It's like, this is Charlene's foot. Yeah, okay, she's got a nice foot. Anyway, my point is that
my foot has a decent rating.
You have if I wish I still had a foot fetish, but you have great feet.
I actually don't think my feet are that great though.
They're great.
They're narrow and flat.
Phenomenal. I would like nothing more than to put your feet in my mouth if I had a foot fetish. My point is that I went through a little phase and I grew out of it. I was like, you know what? I had it. It was good for a second and I'm done. Like, I just grew out of the fetish. It was very quick. It was 3 years.
You were like turned on by a foot.
Yeah, I just suck on a toe here and there. And then I sort of, what happened? I think my
you got too germophobic. Oh my God.
Yeah. They were moving in concert and then the germophobia overtook the foot fetish and that was it.
I I don't know who you are.
Huh.
I feel like I have no idea who you are right now. I've never heard this in my life, and I can't imagine you putting a toe in your mouth.
I've never put one of your toes in my mouth?
No.
The first couple of weeks we were dating? No?
No.
You sure?
Never.
You remember that?
Never. You are so germophobic. Andy is so germophobic that he will not, like when he eats a fry, he won't eat the part that he touched. So when he's done with fries, it'll just be like this wasteland of little bits of fry that he had touched. You're telling me you put toes in your mouth?
You know what? Let's do it this weekend. You take a really good shower, do a loofah, and I'll suck your toes.
A true foot fetish person doesn't need a good shower.
You are right. Truer words have never been said.
Okay, let's move on to Grant. They play basketball. She does really well. I was so impressed with her basketball
She's got skills.
A little bit. Oh! Jenn is amazing.
I liked Grant.
I like Grant.
He was a gentleman.
I like Grant.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
I
getting
like
some
Grant a lot.
preview into your predictions. Okay, in her ITM, Jenn says that he's hot. I
agree with all of those descriptions.
And now we have Marcus very briefly. He says she's very grounding, and she seems touched by this.
Yeah.
Didn't it seem like Jenn was like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
How nice.
Yeah,
like,
I
I want to be grounding for someone.
Yeah.
I wrote, this is a nice, normal conversation. And now Aaron. So Aaron is famously Noah Erb's brother.
Yeah, we didn't know this.
One of his 10 siblings.
10 siblings. He's a Nick.
A Nick Vile.
Yeah.
We learn here that she's pretty handy. She owns a drill and a toolbox.
You know, I like handy people in general. Anytime anyone's handy, I don't care what they are. Child, elderly person, woman, man, anybody.
I will say you are the handiest guy I've ever dated, because in every other relationship I've ever been in, I was the handier person.
Really?
And my sisters are also the same. Like they're both with guys that they are handier than.
Oh, nice. I don't approve of people who are completely unhandy. I mean, they could be good people without being handy. I'm not saying anyone who's not handy I don't like. I'm just saying that if you throw in handiness, I really
raises someone's
appreciate
stock.
that.
I agree.
And not that kind of handiness. Just the
No one was thinking that, Andy.
Some people were thinking that.
He says that what he wants in a partner is a friend.
Oh, that's so nice. Looking young and beautiful is as easy as 3, 2, 1 skin.
3, 2, 1 Skin, indeed, Andy. One Skin is one of our newest sponsors, and honestly, One Skin started out as a Word Watch sponsor.
Yeah.
And I tried some because we got some, and I loved it so much that I was like, are they interested in becoming a sponsor? Because this product I truly believe in. They have developed a proprietary peptide called the OS1 peptide, which reduces the number of senescent cells in your skin. And
zombie cells.
The zombie cells. And these zombie cells are what cause sagging, lines, and wrinkles in your skin. And they tend to infect the cells around them, like zombies.
Yeah.
And the OS1 peptide combats senescent cells. I mean, how cool is that? This is truly science-driven skincare.
And I want to make it clear that you can have the comfort of knowing that this company was founded by scientists.
And those scientists have found that the OS1 peptide reverses your skin's biological age by reducing the number of senescent cells, so the zombie cells in your skin, by up to 50%.
That's it. That's science. Why wouldn't you want science on your skin instead of branding? Science! You remember the 80s song, She Blinded Me by Science? She blinded me with science?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's that go?
It's dun, 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 dun. She blinded me with science. You know that song?
And I really have been using One Skin products for, I'm trying to think of when I started, late last year. And I use it twice a day. I use the eye cream and the essential moisturizer before putting on my other products.
I use all of them too. And I don't use a lot of products. And I will say something. You told me after you had been using this for a while, you're like, you got to start using this.
I did.
And Sharleen never tells me to start using things. So I started doing, I listen to her. Sharleen is my aesthetics consultant. So OneSkin is more than skincare.
It's about skin longevity, targeting the root causes of aging so you can look and feel your best at every age.
Get started today with 15% off using code Shandy at oneskin.co.
That's 15% off at oneskin.co using code Shandy.
After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them.
Support Dear Shandy and tell them we sent you.
It's time to expect more from your skincare routine.
Invest in the health of your skin with OneSkin. So now the first impression, Rose, the sun is shining outside. Ooh. This is how long the night has been.
Ouch.
She pulls Sam M, which was incredibly unsurprising.
Yeah. Yeah,
we all thought it was going to be Sam M. I feel like no one watching this show
I thought it was going to be Sam M from the second he got out of the limo.
Agreed. She says she doesn't always pick the right men, but something in her gut is telling her there's something there.
Yeah, I think it was a little below the gut. Like 6 inches below the gut.
I thought that was a really funny, like, backhanded compliment. Yeah. I don't always pick the right men, but there's something about you.
Yeah.
They have a legit makeout where they're like fully reclined.
I mean, that was the heaviest first impression Rose makeout I've ever seen.
In her ITM, Jenn says the kiss is feral.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, that if that had been somewhere else, I think that would have just gone the whole way.
I agree. They had really good kissing chemistry. And Jenn says in her ITM, definitely worth the wait. She waited all night. And so now we have our rose ceremony. 17 people get roses in addition to Sam M. And going home are Brendan, Brett, Dakota, Kevin, Matt, Mose.
Who got ghosted.
Yeah. And Ricky. And I don't think there was anything surprising here.
No.
And Jenn in her ITM, this is very touching. She cries in acknowledgement that maybe she does deserve this. Maybe she is worthy of love.
I really like that.
Yeah. I think that is an incredibly relatable theme for her season. Yeah. And then Jenn to the group says they're not moving into the mansion. They're going to Melbourne, Australia.
Wow.
And we got excited.
That's a big reveal.
Yes.
Melbourne.
Yeah. And Andy, that brings us to your A game. Who is your winner?
Sam M. I mean, what can I say? The guy came out and did everything right from the beginning to the end, including the way he was denied a kiss. He went in with the knowledge that he could be denied.
Yes.
It was like he was driving on black ice. You don't just step on the gas on black ice. Mm-hmm. You got to kind of pump the brakes, and he went in carefully.
Yeah.
And he got rejected in a very cordial way, and he was ready for it. And he wasn't like, oh, well, I didn't realize, okay. He was just like, okay, and moved on.
He moves about with confidence. This is a man who looks like he could be in Top Gun 3.
Top Gun 3,
According to Brett. I thought that was so cute.
That was a cute comment. The guys are really nice to each other for now.
I wanted Brett to stick around.
I know, big Brett. We finally had a big guy.
Yeah, he was so sweet. When he's just like you would think that they're all dissing each other. He's like, you could be in Top Gun 3. Oh my God. He was so cute.
He was cute.
But yeah, I feel Sam M moves about the world like someone who's like, the world responds
He's got BDE.
to me. BDE. He does have BDE.
He does.
Or at least
DDE.
What's DD?
Decent dick energy.
Okay, so I'm going to insert my fashion commentary here because everyone keeps asking for fashion commentary. So the one thing I'm going to comment now on is Jenn's night one look. So, she looked beautiful. She is beautiful. I feel like I've just seen this dress or a variation on this dress every single season. And I wonder what would happen if she was just given full freedom on what gown to choose. I couldn't help but feel like she had been encouraged to wear this dress. Like every Bachelorette's encouraged to wear white, some sort of bedazzled white something or other. I don't know. It was beautiful, but it just wasn't, in my opinion, memorable. I don't know.
I mean, I'm with you. I mean, you're the expert here, but I didn't do anything for me. Didn't like it.
Yeah, I would almost rather something I like less, but that is doing something different that like catches my attention and is just interesting. That's what I felt was lacking. And this maybe could have been saved by some sort of dramatic hairstyle, but her hair was down. In my opinion, it was a little over teased, like it was too voluminous in some scenes. Look, I totally go for volume sometimes in my hair too. I'm not judging Jenn on that. I just felt like it looked overall like a little pageanty and not her. Like, I don't know what her is yet, but I just know that Jenn isn't every other Bachelorette we've ever had.
I agree.
And none of them are. And so could we not let their own personal style shine through?
You know what I was thinking when I saw that dress? I said, this is an example where a restaurant is not letting the ingredient sing. I want the ingredient to sing.
Yes.
And that wasn't it.
Yeah. And her hair, her hair is ridiculous. She has glorious hair, but it was all down and just covering the dress. It just wasn't my favorite.
I didn't know why I didn't like it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
But she always looks stunning. Okay, Andy, that brings us to our word watch. For our longtime recap followers, we have a very exciting season lined up of prizes for you.
Yes, we do.
And for anyone new to our recaps, our word watch is a game we play with you. That's what makes Dear Shandy interactive. I can do this. It's where we have a word of the week, and you will have to guess the number of times that word will be uttered in the following episode. So this was episode 1. Episode 2, what will the word be, Andy?
I'm going to give some red meat here.
Oh, let me guess. Vulnerable.
No, it's too easy.
Too easy.
Actually, that might be less easy than the one I'm giving.
I'm
giving the ultimate red meat.
What is it?
I'm going with Journey.
Oh, okay. Journey. So you have to guess, dear listener, the number of times the word journey will be uttered in episode 2. And what doesn't count in this is previews. So the preview of the episode you're about to watch, or preview at the end for the season, or even preview like before a commercial break for what's to come. It has to be the episode itself.
Yeah.
And you will enter by commenting below this YouTube video or on the Instagram post for this recap. Listen carefully to this. Do not email us. Do not DM us. It will not count. It has to be a comment. You must include the number using the numeral of the number of times you think it'll be uttered. And word watch or journey?
Journey.
Okay.
Just the word journey. So for example, if I think 5 journeys are going to happen, I say 5 journeys. You can also say something cute like, hi, Andy, because I will be counting them. If you want to say that, I'm not going to stop you.
But should they say journey EYS or journey IES? Because it's a plural for the journey.
Okay, since this ends in a Y, let's go with just journey. So 5 journey, and then whatever cute comment you can add for me. But you don't have to do that.
It doesn't
I
make
actually
a
would
difference.
prefer, well, if it's really nice, I kind of like it. But if it's just generic, just go with the journey.
But it will have no impact.
No, it won't. It will definitely not help your chances, but it may make me stop and smile.
You must enter by this Friday at midnight. And if you guess correctly, you will be entered in a draw. And then one winner will win, Andy, great starting prize.
$200 to one of our favorite sponsors, Cozy Earth.
Yes, Cozy Earth, one of our oldest, longtime, and most beloved sponsors. They create the Viscose from Bamboo joggers that Andy's wearing right now. They are the creator of the Viscose from Bamboo bed sheets we sleep on every night, the waffle towels, the cozy blanket,
the pillows that I now finally found my pillow.
Yes.
Do you know how long I've been searching for pillows? Do you know how long I've been searching for pillows?
And on the screen right now, we have a discount code for anyone listening, and they're like, "Ooh, what's this Cozy Earth?" You can get 30% off. But yeah, $200 to spend. That is a great prize. All right, Andy, finally, that brings us to our predictions. It's very exciting today because I really don't know what yours are.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely excited.
So who do you have in your top spot? Okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, and then we say the name.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3,
Sam M.
Oh,
Yeah, we knew that.
okay.
We knew that.
Yeah, so even though the previews suggest that Sam M might have a bit of a villain moment.
Yeah, but that's all the more reason why I feel strongly about him as number 1. Because if we saw just Sam M with like fireworks, making out, having a lovely time, saying nice things, we know that there's trouble in paradise.
Yeah, that makeout.
Oof.
That's some
I
stiff competition.
I almost had to excuse myself.
Yeah.
There was some heat
The
there.
chemistry was through the roof.
There was some capsaicin. That's the chemical in peppers that makes them hot.
I thought it was like capsicum.
That's one pronunciation. But yeah, capsaicin. That's what the guy was, the guy who came in as
Yeah.
It's that's what they make pepper spray out of.
Those
Capsaicin is the most amazing chemical. It's what peppers figured out to make to prevent animals from eating them, except birds, because they need birds to eat them and fly away and drop their seeds elsewhere. I don't know exactly.
Wait, so birds are not affected?
Birds are not affected by capsaicin. The only animal. All other animals eat that pepper and they're barfing and they're freaking out. They'll never touch it again. it was supposed to be humans too, but humans are crazy and they like pain and, you know, they like suffering when they eat. It's crazy. Peppers never envisioned humans coming along.
Yeah,
humans
well, I don't think
up.
any fruit.
But the fact of the matter is, peppers were smart because they're like, okay, these humans will come along and they'll like us. And what that'll do is have them plant us everywhere in pepper farms for pepper production. And then we'll take over the whole world.
Yeah.
So really, they're geniuses. But the point is capsaicin is a chemical in peppers that makes them hot, and it's used in pepper spray.
Okay.
And only birds are not affected by it.
Oh, wow.
I think that's interesting.
Okay. And the connection is that their Makeout had a lot of
capsaicin. Yeah, it was on the Scoville scale. The Scoville scale tells you how much capsaicin is in something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know a lot
on the
about
Scoville
this.
scale, it was like, I would say that was like a 8,000.
Wow.
It's like that was like a death pepper.
Okay. Yeah. Sam M, he's going far. I'm interested in that preview though. When they were like, oh, Sam M, he's just playing the game and he says, I love you. And he does look a little like acty when he says it. And then we hear her say, how can he love me? He doesn't even know me. But I feel like maybe that's about someone else. I don't know. Maybe he wins her over. I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
Sam M wins.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
You think Sam M wins?
Yeah, he wins.
Who do you have in second? Okay.
Well, on 3, ready?
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Grant.
Devin. You have Grant in second.
I do. And you know what? I feel strongly about it.
Okay, let's hear.
First of all, Grant is my number 1 pick.
Oh, really?
I fell for Grant.
Okay.
First of all, you don't even know how tall Grant is because he's Bachelor tall. Everyone looks tall. Everyone's tall. So he doesn't seem as tall. He's very tall.
Yeah, it's always an advantage to be extra tall on these shows.
He is very tall. He's very handsome. He's cool. I did not see one line out of his mouth that I was like, or annoyed by.
Yeah.
Everything he says is cool.
Okay.
He can beatbox. He can sing. She obviously liked him.
Yeah.
He was cute playing basketball with her.
Yeah.
I think he drives a Ferrari, or is that a fake? I don't know. If he drives a Ferrari, that's a real
In his
bonus.
hometown package, there was randomly a Ferrari in the
I
background.
don't know. Does that mean he makes a lot of money? I don't know. Anyway, that's to be
Maybe
determined.
he's compensating.
Or he's compensating. Yeah, that's what I don't think he's compensating. But this is my gut feeling. But I like Grant. I think Grant has the inability to slip up.
Wow.
That is a cool man.
Wow.
He's going far.
I do like Grant's backstory. You know, how he was really a pro basketball player and then he had an injury and he was just like, okay, I have to pivot.
I'm always into that. You know who else? You know who else is kind of like that?
Thomas?
You got it.
You have such a type.
I have a type.
You have a type.
I have a type.
Oh my God. Is Grant this season's Thomas?
Don't say that. Thomas might be listening.
Is Grant going to be receiving?
No, Grant is not even. Come on. Are you kidding me? But Grant started out. I like underdogs. Thomas was an underdog. He's starting out strong.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not an underdog.
Okay. All right. So I have Devin in second. I think they have a playful banter, and I think she's attracted to him in a sort of like off the beaten path kind of way. And I think that's Devin's charm. I suspect Devin does very well with ladies, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he does better than he probably should.
I
think
agree.
I think he's gay. I think
Look,
he's got.
It's not that I would go for Devin. It's that I think
No.
she's going to go for Devin.
I think Devin's game is weak. I think Devin has game. Yeah, this is where, okay, people say, oh, A game, why is game important? A game isn't exactly game for me. A game means just someone who's doing things right.
Okay.
Game is different. Game I don't respect.
So you
like
don't
pure game.
So you think Devin's a player?
Devin is a gamesmanship man. He likes gamesmanship. He's game. Everything is calculated with Devin.
What did he do that made you think that?
His whole shtick. His whole shtick is game. It was all based off his inability to get laid when he was a young kid. I've done a deep dive on Devin.
Wow.
That's my theory. He's poor man's Pete Davidson. Why? Because he probably saw Pete Davidson as a young kid. He's like, that guy. He's dating Kim Kardashian. He bangs everybody. I want to be that guy. And he didn't even realize what was happening, but he just became Pete Davidson. He's too much like Pete Davidson to have tried to be Pete Davidson.
Oh, wow.
It's all game. It's all BS. It's a shtick. He's shtick.
I don't know. I feel like he comes from a kind of a rough background. He says he was raised by a single mom. He sort of had to like be a loudmouth to like speak up for himself and his younger siblings. Like he was pretty like vocal about why he is the way he is.
Shtick doesn't always come from a bad place. Sometimes it comes from a place that's necessary.
I mean, I did not like that he said he prefers when a woman's nails are done.
Yeah.
But I still think that he's going to go very far. I have him in my second spot.
All right. I think he's shticky.
Who do you have in your third spot? 1, 2, 3, Grant.
Oh, so you were playing coy with Grant. You actually were on the Grant train too.
I think that Jenn is incredibly attracted to Grant, and I think he was just under the radar enough in this premiere that I think he's going to go far. Okay, we're not talking about Grant anymore. You would explain Aaron.
Oh, Aaron, first of all, F-22. And look, if this guy wants to do F-22, he's going to do F-22. This guy's going to be behind the wheel. I guess it's not a wheel, it's a wing. He's going to be behind the steering stick, the throttle.
Yeah.
What do you call the thing on a plane? The stick. The steering. I guess it's a steering wheel.
Does it count if it's not a wheel?
It's a steering stick. It's a steering, whatever. He's going to be in the cockpit.
It's a controller.
He's in the cockpit. It's the cockpit. Okay. He's going to be in the cockpit flying an F-22 by himself one day. I know. I just know the personality type. He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And that alone gets him top 4.
Well, she did say she got a kind of a bad boy energy from him.
Let me tell you, Aaron. They did something right in
Tulsa, Oklahoma,
in the Herb household. They were,
because we're big Noah fans too.
Noah's tremendous. This guy, I mean, what else is going on? I want to see the other kids. I want to see the Herb kids. Mm-hmm. Why haven't we seen them? I want them all to be on Bachelor shows. Oh, maybe I guess some of them are married with kids and stuff. I guess it's not appropriate.
Well, they get married young. He got married at 21.
21.
He said didn't work out.
So maybe Noah and Aaron are the only 2 left that aren't married. Anyway, the point is Aaron is going far. He's good looking. He's smooth. He's an adventurer. She obviously likes him. He's going to fly F-22s. You know how badass that is? Do you know how badass it is to fly an F-22?
Well, how dare you say this to me? I was the one, you were off like nibbling something in the kitchen and I rewound that so you could hear that detail on the show.
You're right. You know,
this is what happened. I was like, Andy, this is something you want to hear.
Oh, that's sweet. You really know me. You knew I'd want to hear
And now
this.
You're trying to make it something that I don't know.
That's true. Well, it's part of our charm.
Okay, so I have Grant in third. You have Aaron in third.
Yes.
Okay. And now time for our 4th place.
All right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Jonathan.
Aaron. Who's Jonathan again?
Oh wow! Disrespect for Jonathan.
Oh yeah,
the
bandaged head. Yeah.
Bandaged head.
He really lost me.
I know he lost you, but I don't think he lost her.
No, I think you're right. I think he was on my radar.
Yeah,
so to speak.
He's in there. He's in the thick of it.
Yeah, he is in the thick of it. So you have Jonathan in 4th.
Yeah, I have Jonathan in 4th.
Do you want to explain why?
Honestly, he's just good looking and confident.
Okay. All right. I have Aaron in 4th for similar reasons you said. To be honest, I don't know if he has enough of like a big personality for Jenn.
Yeah.
And she claims to want that, but sometimes I think it's better if like there's a balance, and she definitely is, has this sort of big personality. I feel like he has the look, he has the overall package. He just has a gentlemanliness.
Yeah.
And I think Jenn will appreciate that.
I agree. I mean, I'm not fighting you on this.
Okay. And then for our wild cards, I always love a wild card.
I love my wild card. I've never liked my wild card more.
Really?
Because it's a true wild card and I just love it.
Me too. I love my wild card.
If we have the same wild card, then we'll know why we got married.
I don't think we're going to have the same wild card.
Okay.
But I'm very interested.
That's the thing you'd say if we had the same wild card.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Spencer. Yes!
Yes!
I knew it.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
I knew it.
We have the same wild card.
This has
never happened. Me too.
I know. This is why we love each other. This is not why we love each other. This is a symptom of our love.
This is why I should never write down your predictions ever.
Never. Wow. Why did we do that?
I don't know.
Why were you writing down my predictions? What am I, like an invalid? You have to tell me like your prediction number 2. Remember what it is? Say it 3 times or else you'll forget. Okay, I got it.
Okay, Spencer. I have him as my wild card because I think that he had that sort of like omnipresence in a premiere that makes me think he's going to go very far. And
he's tall.
You put so much stock in height.
No, I'm just saying. When tall in Bachelor, very tall. And when very tall, women like he. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But that's not the whole reason.
Yeah.
His job is amazing. And
Very
he loves
cool.
his job. Let me tell you something. When you have an amazing job and you love, okay, that's actually redundant. When you have a quirky, amazing job and you love that job, like that's your whole reason for living, there's something about that makes you just a more solid person. You go through life with more confidence and joy.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to show itself in the season. And I think she obviously liked him.
Yes.
And he's a little quirky. He's definitely got personality. I love, oh my God. He's the greatest wild card I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I also love him as my wild card. And he's really a wild card because I don't know what's going to happen.
No idea.
I really don't know. I feel like he could secretly win or he could go home next week.
Totally win or go home next week.
Okay.
Either way, he's a wild card. That's exactly what a wild card is.
He even looks like a wild card.
He's wild.
Like he's like hot, but he's also like,
you're like, well,
there's something also a little
I didn't notice him
I'm
at
not
first.
sure what's going on.
Yeah, at first I didn't notice him. And then suddenly I was like, wild
at some
card.
angles, I'm like, who's that? And at other angles, I'm like,
I could take him or leave him.
But he really is kind of like striking in this unexpected way.
I agree.
I'm so excited about Spencer.
Wow, this is exciting.
You know,
They're very similar top five.
Yeah. Well,
what was the only one that we don't? Oh, Devin. I don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Who do you have there Jonathan? Yeah, I can see why you put Jonathan there. Yeah. I still think Devin's going to go really far.
You know why? I'm going to say why. I'm just going to say it.
What?
Should I say it?
What are you going to say?
I'm just going to say that I think Jenn really has made it clear she likes hot guys. And I don't think Devin's hot. I don't think Devin's not attractive. I just don't think he's hot.
I think you're underestimating Devin.
Devin?
I think
Devin's going home week 6.
Devin is unexpectedly hot. And it pains me a little to say that.
He's going to get less and less hot every episode. Watch.
Devin has he's got the jokester thing going for him.
But it's not that funny.
Yeah, but
name a joke that was fun. Say something.
You don't understand.
Tell me something he said that was funny. What was funny about? What did he say that was funny?
I mean, he did ask about sucking her toe. I know.
I'm not funny. I think he wanted to suck her toe, and I respect him for that. But it's not funny.
I don't know. I feel like he's got a class clown energy, and that can really do well with girls.
I'll give you that. You know what I think? This is what I'll give Devin. I think he was a little tight on night one. He was a little nervous, and I think he's going to loosen up. And when he loosens up, maybe we will see the real Devin. And I agree with you. He will. If he becomes the Devin I think he might be, then he will go far. But if he's the Devin I think he is now, he's not going to go far.
Okay. So there's a couple other people I think we should touch on. I feel like Thomas N.
Yeah. He was an alternate for me.
Win-win.
Win-win. But lose almost probably in the end.
Yeah, I just don't picture Jenn going for someone. Like, I think that they have a lot in common, but I think Jenn likes like a kind of like a quarterback kind of guy.
She wants to date the quarterback. And you know what? I hate to break her down psychologically. As beautiful as her speech at the end was about how she's finally feels like she's being chosen, which is lovely. I feel like that kind of person wants to date the quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah. She wants to be chosen by the chooser.
Well, we'll see if we're right, Andy.
No.
And a few others in the running for me were Marcus and Jeremy.
Me too.
Okay.
They were on my alternate
I think
list.
that she clocked how well Jeremy handled the car thing.
Yep.
And I think Marcus has like all-American hero vibes.
But I don't think he's dynamic enough. I think she wants a little more quirk.
I think she wants the quarterback.
She wants the quarterback. Yeah, she does.
Okay, well, Andy, I think that's a wrap then for this recap.
Yeah, I wonder what people think about The Wall. What do you think? You like The Wall?
Well, we can't go back.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going back.
So don't say you don't like it.
Definitely not going back. Yeah, once you go BlackBerry, you can't go back. No?
The color is BlackBerry.
It is. It is BlackBerry.
If you enjoyed what you heard today, you know what we will ask you.
Oh, wait. One more thing.
Oh. It's Ruby time. Ruby.
Who's she going to come to?
Ruby.
Who's she going to come to?
Come on.
Who's she going to come to?
Come on. Mommy.
Or Daddy? Yeah. Oh, and she couldn't get up to Daddy.
She can come up.
Come on, Ruby, get up.
Oh,
Yay!
you got her. Okay.
I got her.
If you enjoyed what you heard today, you know what we will ask of you, and that is to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram, and
TikTok.
leave us Apple and
Spotify.
Podcast ratings and reviews. Tell your friends and generally do all the things you do to support a podcast you enjoy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Dear Shandy. Bye-bye.